Welcome to English Storycast, your daily boost of clear, simple English. Let's begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I want to start today with a feeling. A feeling I think almost every English learner knows very well. It's that quiet thought in your head that says, I have studied for months, but I am still not fluent.
Yes, that is a heavy feeling. It's what we call the fluency trap. The idea that if you are not at 100%, then you are at zero. There is nothing in the middle. It's an all or nothing way of thinking.
Exactly. It's like you are standing at the bottom of a very, very big mountain, and you only look at the peak, at the very top. You completely ignore the fact that you have already walked for hours, maybe even days, to get to where you are. You only see how far you still have to go.
And that feeling is exhausting. It is the #1 reason why people lose motivation. Because the top of the mountain looks so far away, you forget that you are making progress with every single step you take. You forget to look at the path you have already walked.
Well, today, we are going to stop looking at the top of the mountain. Instead, we are going to learn how to appreciate the journey. We are going to talk about the incredible, motivating power of celebrating small wins. So, if focusing only on the top of the mountain is the problem, how do we learn to focus on the small steps? It all starts by understanding a powerful force in our brain, the power of momentum.
Right. Momentum is a real scientific thing. Every time you complete a small task and succeed, your brain releases a little bit of a chemical called dopamine. It's the chemical that makes you feel good, that feeling of satisfaction. And your brain says, hey, I liked that. Let's do that again.
It's a positive feedback loop. With every small win, you are not just learning a new word, you are training your brain to enjoy the process of learning. That's how you start building momentum. It begins small, but it gets stronger every time you celebrate a small victory.
And this is what we call incremental progress. You are improving in small, regular steps. Fluency isn't one giant milestone you suddenly reach one day. It's the final result of hundreds of these tiny increments of progress.
Think of it like building with Legos. You don't see the finished castle at the beginning, you just focus on connecting one small piece to another. That small success gives you the energy and motivation to connect the next piece.
That's a great way to put it. So the main idea here is that success in English is not one giant leap. It's a long, beautiful chain made of many small, connected wins.
Exactly. And to really show what this looks like, I want to share a simple story. It's not about learning a language, but it's about the process of learning something difficult.
Great. I think stories are the best way to understand an idea like this.
There was a young woman who wanted to learn to play the guitar. She had a favorite song, a beautiful but complicated one, and her only goal was to play that song perfectly. So, she tried. For days, she tried to play the full song, but her fingers were slow, the sound was terrible, and she felt completely frustrated. She was so focused on the perfect final result that she almost quit.
That sounds very familiar. The all-or-nothing mindset we talked about.
Right. But then she decided to change her goal. She forgot about the song. Her new goal was much smaller. Today, my only goal is to learn one single chord, the C chord, and make it sound clean. She practiced for 20 minutes, and finally she did it. It was just one sound, but it was a clear, correct sound. It was a small victory.
And she probably felt that little spark of satisfaction, that dopamine hit we mentioned.
She did. And that small win gave her the energy to practice the next day. Her next goal was to learn the G chord, another small win. She did this day after day, celebrating small victories, one chord at a time. A few weeks later, she picked up the guitar, and almost without thinking, she started playing her favorite song. She had reached her big milestone, not by staring at it, but by collecting the small wins.
That is a perfect example. So many of us are trying to play the full song of fluency from day one. We get frustrated when we can't have a perfect 30-minute conversation.
Exactly. But what if our goal for today was just to learn one new chord in English? Maybe that's learning one new phrase and using it in a sentence. That is a win, and that is worth celebrating.
That's a perfect way to look at the creative process. And the same idea works for something that requires a lot of discipline, like sports. I have a similar story about an athlete.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. The mindset of an athlete is always so fascinating.
There was a young runner whose only goal was to win a big, important marathon. He was completely obsessed with the idea of lifting the trophy, but this pressure was making him anxious. He wasn't enjoying his training, and his performance was actually getting worse. He was so focused on the destination that he was hating the journey.
He was staring at the top of the mountain, just like we said.
Exactly. His coach saw this and told him, "Forget about the marathon. Your marathon is not in 6 months. Your marathon is today, and it's only 5 kilometers long. Your only job is to win today's race." So the runner changed his focus. Every day he aimed for a small win. Today, I will finish my training. That was a win. Today, I will beat my previous time by 1 second. That was another win.
So he was celebrating the small victories of his daily training, not just dreaming about the big victory at the end.
Precisely. He was staying the course by focusing on the step right in front of him. This new mindset removed the pressure. He started to get better, stronger, and more confident. When the day of the big marathon finally came, he was so well prepared from all his daily wins that he ran the race of his life. He achieved his big goal because he stopped obsessing over it.
So the coach taught him to redefine winning. Winning wasn't just the final trophy. Winning was the act of showing up and doing the work every single day.
Exactly. And we can have that same athlete's mindset. Our marathon might be fluency, but our win for today is simply completing our 20 minutes of study. That is how we build the strength to finish the race.
The act of the musician and the story of the athlete are such great examples. But now let's bring this idea into our world. Let's talk about what a small win looks like in your English learning journey.
This is the most important part, because these wins are often quiet and easy to miss. We need to learn how to see them. So, what is a real small win for a language learner?
Okay, here's a big one. Having a short, successful conversation in the real world. For example, you go to a coffee shop, you order your drink in English, and the barista understands you perfectly. That is a huge victory. That is something to celebrate.
Absolutely. Or what about that amazing moment when you're listening to a song in English for the 10th time and suddenly you understand the chorus without reading the lyrics? That is a real milestone.
Yes. Or when you are writing a message and you use a new word you just learned and you know you are using it correctly. That little moment of confidence is a win.
Here's another. You decide to watch a 5-minute video on YouTube without subtitles. You don't understand every single word, but you understand the main idea. You got the message. That is a massive win for your listening skills.
And a win doesn't always have to be about a perfect result.
What about the days you feel tired and you don't want to study? Just showing up and doing 5 minutes of practice on a day you wanted to do zero, that is maybe the biggest victory of the week.
That's so true. The goal is to change our definition of success. Success is not just fluency in the distant future. Success is the small proof of incremental progress that you can find today.
So, the big lesson for today is really a change of focus. It's about taking your eyes off the distant peak of the mountain and instead learning to appreciate the beautiful path you are walking on every day.
Exactly, because that is where the real journey happens. That is how you build real, unstoppable momentum. It's not about waiting for a big victory in the future. It's about creating a small victory for yourself today.
And to help you do exactly that, we want to leave you with one final, very simple, and very powerful action. We want you to start what we call a small wins journal.
It's very easy. You don't need a special notebook. You can use the Notes app on your phone. The rule is this: at the end of every single day, you have to write down one small win you had with English. Just one.
It can be anything we talked about today. Maybe you write, "Today I watched a YouTube video and understood the title without translating it." Or, "Today I used a new phrase in a comment online." Or simply, "Today I studied for 10 minutes even though I was tired."
The magic of this journal is that it will become your personal proof of progress. On those days when you feel frustrated and think, "I'm not learning anything," you can open it and read a list of 50 small victories. You will have proof that you are moving forward.
That journal is the ultimate tool for staying the course. So, that is your challenge. Start it tonight. Find your small win from today and write it down. Thank you for listening.
We'll see you in the next episode.